Hi everyone, I'm Nelle. Welcome back to my channel. I am glad to see that you all came back. So, over the time, all the videos on my channel, we've gotten accustomed to just filing our nails for ourselves, but now we actually have a client and we need to know how to make the experience enjoyable for them. If you watched my previous video, you'd see how I applied the acrylics using nail foams and basically got the shape that we're working with at the moment. Before I applied the acrylic, I completely forgot to ask the client what shape she would have preferred, and so I just went with square. It's not hard to reshape it into what they want. She wanted a coffin shape, so that's what we're going to be doing. Right, so if I can just let you all know what you all need to do, the do's and don'ts for filing. If you notice in the video, I'm holding the back, I call that the back of the client's finger closer to the cuticle area while I file the top, which is closer to the stress point and everything. The purpose in that is so that I don't put excess pressure on the client's natural nail, on the nail bed itself, because in order to file the nail, especially using a nail file, it's a lot of pressure. It's too much pressure and it usually hurts because it's an extension of the nail, and it usually puts pressure on the back. It hurts the client, it's stressful, it's painful for them. So you usually want to avoid filing the end of the nail without holding the back. That's tip number one. Tip number two, if you're noticing, I'm using the gray files, and what happens when you're using a regular nail file as well is that the ends of the file tends to be a bit sharp. Because the file is sharp, I would recommend you use, maybe it doesn't matter if it's an old file or a new file, but you take two of them together and you just rub the ends together to take off the sharpness from it so they don't get cut. In addition to that, be careful when you're filing the cuticle area, around the cuticle. Take your time, it's no rush, you'll get through it. It's all good. It has to be done eventually, and I think the client would prefer if you take your time and do their nails than cut them every time you pass the nail file, because it's uncomfortable and painful. Regarding the shape of the nail, I'm not sure if you all would have noticed, but up to this point, I was holding the nail file in a straight line to get the nails as square as possible. But because we decided on coffin, you'll see me filing straight. The nail file is dead straight based on the side walls of the person's nail, and then I tilt it in to angle it in to get the coffin shape, and then I just gently take down the sides that would have been sharp or high to get it into the natural point. Right now we're just checking to see if that's the shape that she wants and if she's good with it. Okay, so what you're seeing here is me just going back into the acrylic and taking some and building back up the nail. There's no shame in going back and fixing a nail if you see a problem with it. Sometimes you file it down too much, sometimes you probably just didn't apply enough acrylic to begin with. But in order to ensure that your work is done properly and you get the best results and your clients are happy with the nails when they leave, and that it stays as long as possible without breaking, you need to just go back in and make sure your work is secure. What you're basically doing is ensuring that the nails last a long time and that your client remains satisfied with your work. After that, you go back one more time to be sure that everything is as it should be. The nail shape is what they're looking for. You're satisfied with your application and filing, and then you move on to the next step. Like when somebody get cut, you know, this little slice, oh, it's true. You know when you got a little slice, right? I can't hold your finger like this and file it because I could get bloody. I don't want to die. And then I don't want you bleeding down the place because the more you bleed, you know, the crazier it will look. Right. And it's like, oh my god, I bleed. Wait, you want square nails? Or what is it called then? So we finished filing our nails, and this is pretty much what it looks like when we're done. If you stick around, you'll see what we do with it after the filing. Thank you for checking out the channel. Please subscribe on your way out, and I hope to see you next time.